One of the nice things about being homeschooled is we eat our leftovers, so leftovers never go to waste. Here's a little bit of the chicken pot pie I made the other day. There's just a little left. Kaz, at his 14, almost 15-year-old self, got into it, and so that's just that little bit left. But I only have 3 other kids to feed. And then we have mashed potatoes. But we're going to do something exciting with mashed potatoes, so stand by. To the potatoes, we've added about a cup of flour and 1 egg, and we're going to mix it all together and see what kind of consistency it is. If it's too dry, we'll add another egg. If it's too wet, we'll add some more flour. The dough that we're going for is still a little wet, so we're going to add a little bit more flour, try to stir that up and see where we are. I forgot to add seasoning, so I'm going to add some of this garlic, butter, herb seasoning to it. And try mixing it up some more and see where that is. It's still a little wetter than I would like. Let me hold this still for you. If you can see, it's still sticking to the sides, and that's not what we want. We want a dough. And this is the dough. I've rolled it onto a floured, or put it out onto a floured surface. Put a little flour on the top. I'm going to use my handy dandy rolling pin. And we're going to roll these out. We have rolled them out and cut them out.
Sorry.
And now I am laying them on my tray here. I've put parchment paper down in order to keep them from sticking in transfer. That one stuck a little bit to the countertop. All right, I'm gonna move all these. So I'm taking them. Now, Brooke of Southern Frugal Mama, she put eyes and smiley faces in hers. No offense, Brooke, but when they were done, they scared me. So I decided I'm not going to do that, but these are basically the equivalent of smiley fries. So we're going to let them cook on the one side, and then we're going to flip them over and cook on the other side. Oh, here's what they look like on the opposite side. We're going to flip them over. And I feel like I might have put too much flour in mine. They're looking very doughy. So we'll see how they turn out. I'm sure they'll be delicious either way. There's a last one. Whoop, whoops, be careful. I was not careful. Fortunately, I'm wearing a heavy hoodie because it's cold. But be careful when flipping them over. And these guys are done. I'm going to put them on some paper, brown paper rather, to soak up some of that oil. And then I'm going to sprinkle some salt on them very quickly so the oil helps the salt stick. Mason, all right, go ahead.
Oh, it's hot.
It's hot? Yeah, it's real hot. Let's get you one that isn't as hot.
Yeah.
That one's hot too.
All things are hot.
Here, this one's not so hot.
They're kind of great.
Kind of great. How about if you had some ketchup to dip them on? You think they'd be better?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you rate them?
6 out of 10.
Okie dokie. Find the mess in the kitchen background. We need to get caught up on dishes. We were gone most of yesterday. What do you think, Bear?
Tastes like potatoes.
What do you think, Bo?
I'll give it 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Okay, I think she's a little biased. She helped make them. So here we are. We're gonna have those for lunch and that little bit of chicken pot pie. Like and subscribe, and remember, do what you can with what you got. It is Tuesday morning, and I gotta go into work for an emergency shift coverage for 4 hours from 8 to noon. So I'm throwing some potatoes in the crock pot for lunch. And hopefully they'll be done by the time I get home. Just potatoes, poke some holes in them, sprinkle salt, or put some oil on them and sprinkle some salt and pepper. And put them on low. It's Wednesday, and lunch for today is going to be, all right, that little backstory on those baked potatoes I made in the crock pot. I was going to have chili with them, and then I got called into work until 3 p.m., so there was no lunch happening other than Kaz made noodles for people. Anyway, I actually was not pleased with the way these turned out in the crock pot. They were kind of gross, actually, looking like they were discolored. So I'm going to make gnocchi today. So I put all of these in my brand new Ninja food processor. I'm going to add some eggs and some flour. Here is what it looks like with 2 eggs put in it. I'm going to add some flour. I don't really know what I'm doing. That's about a cup. We'll see what it looks like when we have finished that blending. So what we did, and there I go using so again, I added a lot of flour to this. It ended up being 4 cups total, so it's not sticky anymore. And then I divided the dough, and I make it into a snake. About, I don't know, ½ an inch perhaps. And then I take my dough cutter and cut off little dumplings, gnocchis. Now, some people use their forks to make fancy shapes. I'm not doing all that. And so what we're going to do, and we're going to do this, and I'm really going to learn to use the word, quit using the word so. We're going to turn all of this into little pillows of gnocchi. Then we're going to boil them for approximately 7 minutes into salted water. I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Here is what they look like. This is the last batch. They are almost done. They say when it floats to pull them out, but I like to give them like more time than that, anywhere from 5 to 7, just because I don't like gooey dough balls. In this pot, I have a mix of butter and olive oil, and I'm just going to dump our completed gnocchi in there. Look out! They're crisped up a little bit. I'm going to add some garlic powder, which doesn't want to come out because welcome to Eastern Shore of Maryland. I'm not really work with that. I'm not going to bounce you all around with that. I'll do that after. And then the onion powder, which is probably fairly better behaved than garlic powder. And then I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. We're going to stir this all up. And then the next thing I'm going to do is, I've heard it said that you should add gnocchi water to make a sauce. So I'm going to take a ladle full of gnocchi water. Because it has flour in it, it's going to thicken up fairly well. So I'm going to stir this all up and we're going to taste test it next. Mason is going to be our first up taste tester. Go ahead, buddy. Tell me how the gnocchi is.
Good.
It's good? Think it's alright?
Yeah, it should be a snack kind of thing.
A snack kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Bo. Tell us what you think.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. You like it? Bear, try the gnocchi.
It's not yucky. Stop calling it yucky.
What do you think, bud?
I'd say it's a 10 out of 10. Honestly.
All right. There we go. And here is my bowl. As you may be able to make out, it did make a lovely sauce with the gnocchi water. So I'm going to find some Parmesan cheese because I think that would make it chef's kiss. But if this kind of thing is of interest to you, like and subscribe. And remember, do what you can with what you got.